Good morning, everybody. How are we doing today? This is going to be a kind of a build overview of what I've been doing in Torchlight Infinite here. But the first thing that I want to do before I get done with anything is I want to just corrode a bunch of stuff for your viewing pleasure. Um, I played this build. This was my league start, and I pretty much played it. Ooh, that's actually really good. Wow, that's pretty cool. So basically, I played this as my league start. It was the build that I started with, and I could definitely say that it is extremely strong and super comfortable. Ooh, we get something else too. What do we get? Oh, Ellie Res, also very nice. Um, so this is a whirlwind. It's basically a whirlwind barb. Come on. It's exactly as you think. It's very comfortable and very easy to play. What did we get? Nothing. Oh, it rerolled a life. Oh, it rerolled pretty much. Oh, it rerolled the strength. That sucks. Oh well. Um, sorry, I'm getting all distracted. Let me pause for a second. So this is a whirlwind. Um, Whirlwind character. It's very strong, even with low investment. It's very strong. Now, I don't have low investment. I have pretty high investment. And basically, the whole build just revolves around crit and playing Whirlwind. That's basically the long and the short of it. I haven't put exactly as much money as you can into a build. Maybe about 1,000 FE total is how much I put into it. But I do have some things here um, that can be improved. One thing I will say is that I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be a stat stacker. It's not exactly what it is right now, but it's kind of going to that point where it's going to be. I kind of have it as a rage thing at the moment, but we'll go over the skills and everything after we get done corroding everything, because why not? Why not just put an extra tag on all your gear and and see what's going on. Okay, what do we get? I think that there's nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. Okay, next. Let's go with our Scarlet Axe. Ooh, this could be good. Do something. Boom. What do we get? Hey, that's really good, except for it rolled 1% higher. Oh, I guess a couple 3% higher. It low rolled. That's like really good. It just low rolled. Oh well. And what else? Body armor. If this hits like, I don't even know. Ooh, what's it gonna hit? This could be good. Oh, just more Ellie res. It's really good because this build is kind of starved for Ellie res, so awesome. That pretty much res caps. Boots, I think this is the last one. What are we gonna get? Another +1. Ooh, a bunch of Ellie damage. So 44 to 56. Nice. Again, low rolled. That's sad. Oh well. So, let's go over the build. Let's just kind of look at some stuff here. So let's go from top down, all of our items here. So tie to the sticks. Basically, this is just really good for this line of text here. Non-full life state will be considered low life. The reason why that's important is because we have additional damage while on low life. This other axe has explode on it, but I have additional damage while on low life ×2. Next is the chest plate. Really the only thing that matters here is active skill gems. You want a bunch of life on here, and then chance to gain a stack of tenacity. You want to get that pretty high because there are certain things in the build that do get benefits from tenacity. The amulet is a hero's necklace for strength, as well as +2 active skill and +1 channeled stack. It's important that you don't put max channeled stack, just channeled stack. Max channeled stack is like counterproductive to what we need. The gloves, we're looking for this line of text, which is convert 50% of fire damage to fire damage, physical damage to fire damage, percent strength, and fervor. These are really the 3 that are important, but this is also really, really good. Just for movement speed and crit damage. It's just more damage. I got a really, really, really good Infinity. We do get agility blessings, and we do love stats. I think this literally cost me like 20 FE. I stole this from somebody. But Quick Ritual is the one that you really, really want because it's minimum channeled stack or +1 channeled stack, not max channeled stack, as I was saying. But this also gives you some attack speed as well. You don't need to have a super, super great one. Quick Ritual, or even Quick Ritual with it corroded to have +1 channeled stack, so it's +2 channeled stack, is also very, very nice. Boots, movement speed, and then own 1 additional blessing stack. Boots are pretty, just kind of do, kind of what you want with these. Get a bunch of life, get a bunch of resistance because you're going to need it. Frozen Flame, you could technically drop this. It is a little min-maxy, but you can technically drop Frozen Flame for just a, really, really decent ring that gives you resistance. This isn't 100% necessary, but it does let you use a different skill besides Bull Rage. And if you get the level 30 Bull Rage, it's really, really, really strong. Chaotic Ending. Really, the only things that you want are the chance to gain Focus Blessing. This just gives you double damage chance. I managed to get one that has 2, and Paralysis for Tenacity, which does increase their damage by 10%. It's really, really good, and the fact that I got 2 of them, and this was also super, super, super cheap, was an absolute steal. I think I got this for like another 30 FE or something. First Axe. Important stats. When you're starting out, before you get a Tide, you don't need the additional damage while on low life, but you do want the 2 to 4 physical attacks per 12 strength. That is a very important line of text. And then the really only other stuff is double damage. If you're just starting out, you can just get one that has this high flat fizz as possible. You don't really need the strength part of it, but it does help quite a lot. This is pretty much a GG one that your endgame one is going to be, including the paralysis thing. The second one, I just have explode on it, as well as basically the same exact stuff. Additional damage on the life, the strength stacking mod, strength, double damage, crit damage, all that good jazz. That's pretty much that. DPS is 100% fire because we're converting 100% of our damage to fire damage, so that way all that extra fizz that we're getting is converted all into fire damage. So let's look at the tree. So we start off with God of Might, and we get a additional 30% more fire damage, 25% for enemies who severe injury. It's really good. Some people like elimination. Some people like tenacity. I don't know. For me this is it's either these two, but all 3 of these are very, very solid. I think burnout is definitely your most is your best bet. Tenacity if you want to go a little bit tankier. And then fueling ignores enemy fire resistance. It's important to realize that this ignores the fire resistance, so you can't lower their fire resistance anymore. Meaning that any way that you reduce their fire resistance is not going to increase your damage because you're completely ignoring the fire resistance. This is the tree going up straight through the middle. Important things are attack speed, crit chance. You don't need a whole lot of crit chance, but it doesn't help. And then as much life as possible because we are reserving some life, and then 3 to 6 damage per 10 levels. And then this node is also pretty important. So a bunch of strength, and then 3% strength, 1% chance to deal double damage, fire damage per 100 strength. So more strength, the better. We got rock here, so tenacity stuff, +2, and then fire damage per tenacity. And remember that we get this tenacity by taking damage. So the more damage we take, the less damage we're actually the less overall damage we're going to take, and the more damage we're going to do, because it's 15% damage per tenacity stack. That's up to 6, so it's really good. The next one is Focus Strike. Area skills deal 40% more area damage if you... So basically, take your Whirlwind, plant it right next to the enemy, you're going to be doing 40% more damage. It's really sweet. Up through the middle, life, attack speed, more life regen, tenacity, blessing duration. This kind of just helps with uptime. More crit, more crit, more crit, more crit, more strength. 1% fire damage per 50 strength, another strength stacking mod. See, it's kind of like a hybrid type thing, at least from what it says. So here's where it's going to kind of differ. Fluke, obviously you can only use if you have Fervor. If you don't have Fervor gloves, that's really the only place that you're looking at getting Fervor. If you can find another way to get it without using gloves, you can use some unique gloves. But if not, you can just use Gravity, which is 20% more melee damage, and then it has reverse knockback, which is, whatever. And then 6% additional damage taken for enemies within 10 meters. So obviously Whirlwind, it's very, very easy to get this stacked up. 30%, more damage. So life, crit, damage. I think you're probably seeing a trend here. Life, crit, damage, attack speed. Life, crit, damage, attack speed, life, armor. I took this mainly because, one, we're always in proximity, but two, LA Res is kind of hard to hit max on this build, and then Fervor Effect and crit damage per Fervor Effect. This is really good to get once you have Fervor Effect. I had this node, however I don't have it because I have essentially this on a weapon at this point, so I had the chance to take this off. Few extra points that you can put into melee damage, crit rating for a nearby enemy. You can kind of float these around to anywhere that you really want to. But that's the skills. Let's look at here. So there's a couple iterations. For Burst, I thought Burst was more comfortable to play than Uncontrolled Anger. Uncontrolled Anger looks really, really, really good, and it's really awesome for Bloodthirst for damage. However, it feels very, very uncomfortable, and I feel as if once you get to the higher ends of things, this is going to be kind of outscaled by Burst. But let's go through these. Trigger Burst once on hit while Berserk is active. Berserk should be active all the time because you're getting this. Burst now has 2 supports and gain 3 rage when defeating an enemy. No, not that one, this one. Gain 15 range on crit. So basically you always have your rage. The 2 that I'm supporting it with are Hardened and Steamroll. I'm sure you can move these around and it's slightly better in some ways, but so this is just a bunch of crit and crit damage, which is important because we have 3 Soul of the Furies, which gives us max rage. My max rage is very, very high, and then this is just a fire res in life. That's about it. You can get the unique one and get even more rage that has 5. I didn't want to spend the 2000 FE to do that, so you could get another 80 rage, which would give you, way more crit damage, and essentially make you crit 100% of the time. So, but Burst is a 50% chance to for an active attack to trigger Burst, 0.4 cooldown, and then critical strikes have 100% chance to trigger Burst while Berserk is active. So 100% uptime on Berserk, 100% uptime on Burst. It actually does quite a lot of damage. In my testing, it wasn't that much less than Uncontrolled Anger, and it felt way more comfortable using Reverberation. You don't have to worry about health regen. You don't have to worry about, dipping super low just to be able to do that much more damage. You just have a nice, comfortable line, and you always have your berserk up, 100% of the time. So let's look at skills. Whirlwind. Um, I mean, you can move these around somewhat, but 2 additional channel stacks, really awesome. Guard, attack focus, bloodthirsty slaughter. You could probably move this one around. You still do consume life because we do convert a lot of stuff, but this also just gives us attack speed. But missing life, increases the damage. It's pretty good. And then elemental fusion. Guard is just straight up 34% additional damage, and barrier, which is awesome. Compound potion, obviously kind of preference. I don't even think this works, but hey, it's cool. Leap. This might as well be a leap build. I don't think I walked this. I think I have jumped to every location. I don't think I've walked a single place in this entire time that I've played this character. So leap, periodic burst, quick mobility, and blinding. I guess blinding just because maybe you blind an enemy, right? Maybe you blind. Bloodthirst, cost conversion, because we have very, very little mana. Mass effect, so +1 charge, really nice. Bloodbath, basically stacking up to 10 times, yep, and then mania. That's the supports. This is a pretty set in stone. I think you really, really need cost conversion. And in the beginning, it's going to be really hard because, you're going to want to use other things, but it's either Reform or Bull's Rage if you don't have the Frozen Ring. These are your 2 options. Again, cost conversion, and then cooldown reduction and shortened duration. Shortened duration because we kind of want this to be up all the time to refresh the barrier over and over and over and over again. And then have less cooldown. So cast on crit, yes, cast on crit. Seal conversion, so this is sealing life. Fixate, scorch, additional damage, and then fixate. Mark enemies, increase their chance to be able to have double damage against them. So we are relatively hitting double damage most of the time. 48% and then 16% from tenacity and stuff like that, or not tenacity but focus blessing. You're pretty much double damaging all the time. And then abyssal hatred, curse effect, that's basically it. Just makes them take more damage. Steadfast, because we like armor. Seal conversion, rejuve, nimbleness. You don't need nimbleness, but it is good. Charge flames. Now this is interesting because you can put steadfast here and you do a little bit more damage with stand as one, or aura effect, I should say, from charge flames. Obviously these aren't really doing very much, but with stand as one, it's more aura effect for your charge flames. That's basically the skills. And I don't think there's really I guess my packs, but the packs don't really do anything. Just life, resistance, less damage taken, enhanced attack damage, and then quad. Like, it's pretty self-explanatory. These don't really change that often, but yeah, so that's the build. Full rotation is just leap slamming. I will go into a random, let's go into a tier 8 Voidlands. So this is a tier 8 Voidlands. Basically, you're going to start out by leap slamming and then bloodthirsting everywhere. So the first objective is to get more than 50 fervor stacks, because fervor is allowing us to, fervor is going to give us lucky once we get 50 stacks. And essentially, it's a leap slam simulator. You just kind of leap slammed everything. When bloodthirsty is up, use bloodthirsty. And then when reform is up, use reform. Or, I mean, you can kind of min-max it. If you think you're about to take a big hit, use your reform. Use your skills. You can see with bloodthirst and leap slam, you do end up leap slamming very, very quickly. And you can see how when I jump into a pack and hit the enemy, burst it does have an area. You can see it has like a red area underneath the enemy. That is the area of the burst. and it can like kind of like prolift, not prolift, but like it's like an area. So like if there's a packet of enemies that are really close to each other, you can pretty much one shot that whole area without even having to get explode. Explode just makes it a lot more consistent. And we got the boss here. Our rage did fall off, so we do have to wait for that. But yeah, so this is a tier 8. It's very, very comfortable. It's very fast. If you even put more into the the build, you can get it even faster and stronger. Hell, maybe even if you want to put on an eternity, you can do that and just kind of make a joke out of the entire game. So yeah, that is basically the build. If you have any questions, feel free to let me know in the comments. I will answer anything that you might need, and it's important to me that you stay hydrated. So if you haven't gone and gotten a drink lately, maybe go get something to drink. Maybe get something to drink. Either way, that's me. You have a good rest of your day, and see you later.